Welcome. My name is Mitch Prather, and I'm an Eagle Scout from Castleton United Methodist Church's Troop 276. It is my pleasure to be a part of this 17th annual Governor's Luncheon for Scouting. The luncheon serves as the kickoff for the Friends of Scouting campaign and shows how your support can make an impact. Before you, we have all the advancement ranks of Boy Scouting: Tenderfoot, Second Class, First Class, Star, Life, and Eagle. The theme of this year's Governor's Luncheon is focused on the Eagle Scout rank, since this year marks the 100th anniversary of the first Eagle Scout badge earned in 1912 by New York Scout Arthur Eldred. Earning that coveted rank is not easy, and I've asked a few of my fellow Scouts to show you the typical journey along the Scouting trail. First, we start with Cub Scouting. Boys in 1st through 5th grade progress through the ranks, earning Bobcat, Tiger, Wolf, Bear, Webelos, and the Arrow of Light awards. Here in Crossroads of America Council, we have over 16,000 Cub Scouts. Next comes Boy Scouting, our rugged outdoor adventure program for young men ages 11 to 17. The ranks of Boy Scouting include Scout, Tenderfoot, Second Class, First Class, Star, and Life. After a Scout has earned his Life rank, he can begin working towards the Eagle Scout Award. To earn the Eagle rank, a Scout must provide leadership in his troop, plan and lead a significant community service project, and earn 21 merit badges. This year, we will have almost 400 young men earn this esteemed rank. Beyond the traditional Boy Scouting program, teenage men and women can join the venturing or exploring programs. Venturing focuses on high adventure and service, while exploring provides hands-on education in a variety of career fields, such as medicine, law enforcement, engineering, and science. Finally, Reaching for Tomorrow is our in-school value-based program. We are in 430 area classrooms, serve over 9,800 students, and educators are impressed with the lesson plans. As they reach each milestone along the Scouting trail, Scouts are recognized at public ceremonies. We call these ceremonies Courts of Honor. Parents, family members, Scouts, and friends attend and celebrate a job well done. Candles are lit and awards are presented publicly, celebrating Scouts for their accomplishments. The rank advancements shown on stage highlight accomplishment and illuminate the next milestone along the trail. Scouting remains alive and well in Central Indiana. The drive and determination to excel is high among my fellow Scouts. Our Courts of Honor recognize the good work of Scouts. Today, this Governor's Luncheon for Scouting recognizes those helping us succeed, our volunteer Scout leaders, and those who support Scouting financially. My fellow Scouts and I thank you for your support. All of the Scouts helping today are a small representation of the 36,000 Scouts in Central Indiana. And there are many more young people who need and desire to be members of our great movement. Your support will help make that happen. As you know, Scouting promotes citizenship, patriotism, and love of country. Please stand as Ian Bossing from Carmel High School sings God Bless America, followed by members from Cub Scout Pack 316, who will lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Ian.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with a light from above. From the mountains to the prairies, to the oceans, white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home. From the mountains to the prairies, to the oceans, white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home.
Thank you, Ian. And now Abraham Tapia, Edgar Rodriguez, and Cesar Marquez from Cub Scout Pack 316.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Cub Scouts. And now Taylor Bowles with Venture Crew 101, chartered to First United Methodist Church, will lead us in our invocation.
In the spirit of the 12th point of the Scout Law, please prepare yourself for prayer. Dear Lord, we pray for many things. For faith in a world where many walk in fear. For food in a world where many walk in hunger. For leadership in a world where so many only follow. For friends in a world where many walk alone. And Heavenly Father, the tragedy at Sandy Hook Elementary School in Newtown, Connecticut has shaken our country. Place your loving hand on all those who are in pain and give us strength during this difficult time. Let us pause for a personal and silent moment of prayer. We lift up to you, Heavenly Creator, what is meant to be the most powerful message we can offer in light of this recent tragedy. The Boy Scouts of America feels the pain of the victims of this horrific act. And as Scouting's founder, Lord Robert Baden-Powell said, Scouting's greatest strength is the bringing together of children of infinite promise with adults of good character. Help us carry out this vision. This we pray in your name. Amen.
Thank you, Taylor, for those inspiring words. And everyone, please be seated. Now, before I introduce our Master of Ceremonies, and in keeping with our theme of Eagle Scouts, I'd like to mention some national and local leaders with varied backgrounds, but who all have one thing in common. They are Eagle Scouts. That list includes Neil Armstrong, Michael Bloomberg, Gerald Ford, Robert Gates, Jim Lovell, James Williard Marriott, Mark Rowe, Steven Spielberg, and Sam Walton. Locally, the list includes Jim Morris, Steve Goldsmith, Richard Lugar, John Lecklider, Austin Colley, Bob Palmer, Randall Shepard, and Mark Miles. Pretty cool, huh? As we celebrate the 100th anniversary of the Eagle Scout Award today, would all Eagle Scouts, young and old, who are present today, please stand for a moment? Let's give these guys a round of applause. Today, we are fortunate to have the face of Indiana business news with us. He is a veteran news broadcaster, serves as president of Grow Indiana Media Ventures, and is host of Inside Indiana Business, Indiana's most watched local business television program. He is a native Hoosier, born and raised in Clinton, and is a graduate of Indiana State University. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mr. Gary Dick.
Well, great job, Eagle Scout Mitch, and thank you to all of the Scouts for getting us off to really a great start at this great event. And this is a very, very special event. Just look around the room. Our 17th annual Governor's Luncheon for Scouting. As I understand it, the largest event of its kind for Scouting in the entire country. I'd like to thank everyone for being here as we celebrate Scouting and also the 100th anniversary of the Eagle Scout Award. And we have your entire lunch preset. So please go ahead and enjoy your meal as we move through the early portion of our program. Once again, we have record attendance with more than 2,000 Scouting friends, community leaders, and Scout volunteers. And I'd like to welcome and recognize some very special guests who are here today. First of all, the Honorable Mitch Daniels, Governor of the state of Indiana, and we'll have a formal introduction of Governor Daniels a bit later. Governor-elect Mike Pence as well, welcome. Indianapolis Mayor Greg Ballard, a strong friend of Scouting. Dean and Bruce White, owners of White Lodging, which includes, among some 160 properties, this beautiful JW Marriott, our host for today. And this JW, what a great addition to a great city in downtown Indianapolis. Harry Gonzo is chair of today's luncheon and a partner with Ice Miller. Eagle Scout Mark Miles, CEO, Holman & Company, and chair of next year's luncheon. Also, Eagle Scout Bob Palmer, Vice President, Central Region, Air, Ground, and Freight Services at FedEx, and President-elect of Crossroads of America Council. And Tom Easterday, Executive Vice President, Secretary, and General Counsel of Subaru of Indiana Automotive, and President of the Crossroads of America Boy Scout Council. It's important to note that during Tom's tenure as president, Crossroads of America Council has been nationally recognized among the top 10% of all scouting programs every year. We are also very glad to have with us several past presidents of Crossroads of America Council. If you would please stand as I read your name to be recognized. We're pleased to have Sam Odell, Steve Holt, Bob Reynolds, and Mike Wells. And if I've missed anyone not on the list, please stand as well to be recognized. How about a big round of applause for everyone here today? Well, with that, please continue to enjoy your meals and fellowship. We will resume with our program shortly so you can meet some very extraordinary scouts. Enjoy your meal. Well, good afternoon again, everyone. Please continue to enjoy your meal, but in the interest of staying on time and on schedule, we'll begin our program. And I should mention, I mentioned some past presidents of the Crossroads of America Council who are here today. Some others I did not mention who are in attendance and should be recognized include Phil Howard. Charlie Golden is here as well. Skip Kappas and Craig Mullins. How about a round of applause for those additional leaders among us today? Well, earlier we mentioned that today's luncheon theme really focuses on Eagle Scouts. A study completed by Baylor University this year shows some, I think, some interesting facts about Eagle Scouts when compared to men who never were in scouting. For example, 66% are more likely to volunteer, 73% more likely to have voted in the last presidential election, 55% more likely to be in a leadership position at their place of employment, and 76% more likely to hold a leadership position in their local community. 52% likely to always try harder to exceed people's expectations, and 47% more likely to always do what is right. Now, for every 100 boys who join scouting, 5 will become Eagle Scouts, 9 will enter a vocation learned through the Merit Badge program, 1 will use scouting skills to save the life of another person. Additionally, twice as many scouts will graduate from college compared to the general population. And I'd encourage you to discover more of these facts and noteworthy statistics highlighted in your program and centerpiece as well today. Well, each year a highlight at our Governor's Luncheon is getting to know some of our scouts. Truly incredible young people. Getting to know the scouts, their families, as well as their adult leaders. What are their dreams, their accomplishments? How has scouting impacted their lives and their communities? As Governor Daniels comes to the stage to help present these awards, I'm reminded of prior luncheons when we've heard about the Council's goal to make scouting accessible, more accessible for all young people, especially those in Center Township here in Indianapolis. The goal is to deliver scouting's values and life skills training regardless of circumstances. And we are very proud to report that 17 of our Center Township Scouts are very close to earning their Eagle Scout rank. Let's take a look now at how your dollars are making an impact on one outstanding Scout. I'm pleased to present this video of Life Scout Todd Twyman from Troop 91.
My name is Todd Twyman. I'm from troop number 91, and we meet at school number 91. Some information about me would be I live with my mom. She's a single mother, and is really just did a great job, you know, raising me by herself. I've been in scouting, I was a Cub Scout, and I really like Cub Scouting, so I just moved on to Boy Scouting. I would say some of the things that I've learned that stand out to me are being a leader, which is a really big thing in Scouting, and just learning how to work with other people. And some activities I do outside of school. I'm in the band. I play trumpet, bass guitar, and tuba. Sometimes activities in the city do seem to be limited, especially for young people, and I think Scouting has really helped that. I went to the 2010 National Jamboree, and that was a really fun Scouting trip that really stood out. There was a lot of different troops there from different states and different countries, and there were a lot of just fun activities. I think the Eagle Badge represents a person who's really just lives the Scout motto and law throughout their everyday lives, and is really, ready to be a leader. And I would say to donors who provide financial help to Scouts, I would say thank you, because I personally benefit from Scout Reach. I'm part of a Scout Reach troop, and I know a lot of other Scouts wouldn't be able to go to summer camp and afford things like that if it weren't for them, so I would say thank you. Receiving the Striving to Eagle certificate from Governor Daniels really means a lot to me. I'm really honored that I was chosen from all the other Scouts to get this award. And
Congratulations to Scout Twyman for receiving the Setting the Example, Striving to Excellence Recognition Certificate. I think Governor Daniels is going to make the presentation, and the Scout's mother, Angela James, is here as well. Welcome. Congratulations. Congratulations once again to Scout Twyman, and a very proud mom, Angela James, as well. Congratulations and thanks for being here. Well, our second story this afternoon is one we may never see again here in the state of Indiana. Earning all 134 merit badges is a rare accomplishment. So rare, in fact, that Indiana has had only 5 Scouts from 1910 to 2011 to earn every badge. However, within just months of each other in 2012, we've added 2 more Scouts to that list, Eric Knighty and Ben Gormley. Let's find out more about those great Scouts through this video and some photographs.
My name is Eric Knighty. I'm from Troop 336. We meet at Camp Column in Mulberry, Indiana. I was at school and the recruiter came and was recruiting for scouts, and I thought it'd be fun to join scouts because you get to go camping, and I thought it'd be fun, and that's pretty much where the journey began. Well, scouting has taught me leadership skills since I'm the leader of my troop. I'm the SPL. It has also taught me how to be mature and become responsible, and teach me what life's going to be like. Well, for my scouting, we've been everywhere to get all these badges. The farthest we've been to is Yellowstone. For fly fishing, we went to South Carolina this summer to do whitewater rafting, Ohio to do some merit badge universities. I just did the welding merit badge last year with my grandpa. He was a welder at Purdue, so that's what I'm kind of looking to do in a career someday. This model right here was for the model design merit badge. We put the popsicle sticks on the board here to look like siding, and then we took strips of the paper and we put like on the roof and then for the grass and for the driveway. And we bought some model gravel right here for the shrub bed, and over the time this took us about 3 weeks to make. Probably the most difficult merit badge to earn was probably bugling, because I spent about 2 years practicing because I'd never been in band or played an instrument before, and because I had braces, which made it a lot harder. I'd probably say to the people who donate to Scouts that it really helps us out so we can have fun time with stuff, and so we can do a lot of activities. My top 2 highlights of scouting would probably be going to Philmont this summer and probably getting my Eagle. To me, the Eagle badge represents all the stuff you've learned in Scouts and leadership skills and all the skills that you're going to use in life someday.
Pretty amazing and wonderful. Congratulations to Eric, Ben, and some proud parents as well. I know the governor is up to make a presentation. Eric, this is fantastic. Nice presentation. I wasn't any good at the trumpet. Great. Congratulations once again, Eric, Ben, and great to have your parents here as well. Congratulations. Incredible stories. Love it every year when we see these stories. Well, I mentioned earlier that an average of 1 scout in 100 will utilize knowledge and skills learned in scouting to save the life of a fellow human being. And that 100 years ago, the very first Eagle badge was presented to Arthur Eldred. Now, I think it's a profound coincidence that shortly before Scout Eldred received his Eagle badge, he was camping with his troop in Orange Lake, New York. While swimming in the lake, fellow Scout Melvin Daly cried for help and began to drown. Eldred rescued Daly and was presented with the Honor Medal for that action. Scouting is known for stories of life-saving heroics, and today we are blessed to have Ian Kinney from Troop 18, chartered to the Second Presbyterian Church, to join us and help share his story. Now let me help set the stage. I think, is Ian here? Is he going to, oh yeah, you can come on up. We'll have you come on up, and let me set the stage here. Now, while staying overnight at the home of her friend's grandmother, Ian was awakened by his family to find the house full of smoke. They both left the house only to hear the grandmother, Rita Rice, screaming for help. Ian immediately ran to the front of the house, rescued 4-year-old Gavin Rice, and assisted Mrs. Rice and 5-year-old Lauren Rice off the porch of the flaming house where the woman had fallen. She now refers to Ian as her family's guardian angel. Let's hear more from Ian.
My name is Ian Kinney. My troop number is 18, and my troop meets at 2nd Presbyterian Church on Meridian Street. My extracurricular activities are robotics and running. I do cross country and track and winter running club, and I run during the summer. And I started a chess club at my school, and I'm in French club and guitar club. Scouting has the emergency preparedness and first aid merit badges. I believe that to be prepared means to be prepared for life. The situation that I was in, to be prepared to do what's right, put yourself at risk to help other people. The fire started at my friend's grandma's house with her air conditioner on May the 5th at 2 in the morning.
Is there flame showing?
Yes.
Flame
in the living room. It's in the living room.
In the living room?
Coming out, yes.
I got up and immediately I was overcome with the smoke, and I knew from Boy Scouts that you're supposed to go low to the ground. So I made my way to the back door of the den, which is about 10 feet away. It was an obstacle course, though, because I couldn't see anything, because in addition to being late at night, the smoke would cover up any light. Gathered up all my strength, and I ran outside and composed myself. That's when I heard his grandma, Mrs. Rita Rice, yelling for help. So I ran around to the back of the house, the front of the house, and on my way there, I saw through the living room window the glow of the fire, and at that time I heard a window crack, and so then I saw on the porch she was remodeling, or planning to, so she had a lot of furniture on her porch, and under some of that furniture she had collapsed and was stuck, and she said, well, don't worry about me, get my grandson out. And so I reached into the window, and at first I was...
He reached through the window and pulled him out. And then he handed him to Bruce, and then he come back and got me off the porch.
Like reach in with my whole body, and there he was on a bed, and he was... Mrs. Rice had already gotten her granddaughter out, but once I got Gavin out, the neighbor had arrived, and I gave Gavin to the neighbor, and then I helped Mrs. Rice up, who had been trapped under the furniture, and then we all got off the porch.
He's my hero, no matter if there's nothing else said about no one else. He done a major, I was blessed.
To me, courage has two meanings. In this situation, it means being able to put your life at risk if you can help other people.
And I should add that just like our nation's first Eagle Scout, Arthur Eldred, so did Ian Kinney do this heroic action prior to his attaining the rank of Eagle. It is my pleasure to have Governor Daniels present both the Eagle Badge and the Honor Medal with crossed palms to Ian Kinney. The Honor Medal with crossed palms is awarded in exceptional cases to a scout for demonstrating unusual heroism and extraordinary skill in saving or attempting to save a life at extreme risk to self. Last year, the Honor Medal with crossed palms was presented just 13 times across the nation. And congratulations again to Ian and his parents as well. Great job. And what great stories. Congratulations. And for all of you, I think that gives you a nice swath of where your dollars go, what they do in terms of helping to invest in our future, invest in the future of our community as well. So great stories indeed. It's now my pleasure to ask Luncheon Chair Harry Gonzo for his remarks and to introduce today's keynote speaker. Harry served as Governor Mitch Daniels' senior counsel and chief of staff in 2005 and 2006. He is Indiana University through and through, having received his undergraduate degree there and his law degree from the IU School of Law as well. He served 18 years on the university's Board of Trustees and is a folk hero of sorts in Indiana, holding the distinction of being the quarterback to lead the IU football team to its only Rose Bowl. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Harry Gonzo.
Thank you, Gary, very much. I want to, first of all, thank everybody for attending, even though the lights are bright. This is a beautiful sight to see so many people here supporting Scouting. It's been a real privilege to serve as chair of this event for the last 3 years and to work with an outstanding group of individuals who deeply care about kids and their families. And it's also been fun to continue my work and friendship with Governor Daniels. I want to give special thanks and ask members of the steering committee and the vice chairs and the table hosts, all of whose names are in the program, to please stand and be recognized so we can thank you for your efforts. I would also like to give special recognition and a welcome to Governor-elect Mike Pence and his new Chief of Staff to be, Bill Smith. If you could stand and please be recognized. And then finally, I want to recognize Dean White and Bruce White, owners of the JW Marriott and very generous benefactors of this event. Would you please stand as well? Well, when asked to find my successor as chair of this event, I didn't have to look too far, but it did take me a long time to get a yes. Fresh from his Super Bowl experience and early on in his new leadership experience at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway is my best friend, Mark Miles. I asked Mark to please come forward to receive a passing of the baton. Mark is a great choice for many reasons, but not the least of which is the fact that he is, in fact, a distinguished Eagle Scout. I wasn't even a Boy Scout. So I need to tell you that I spent 2 long weekends preparing the baton. There was a lot of sanding of a fallen birch limb from Murat Park, 75th and College, a lot of lacquer placed on it, very handsome beads around the top, together with appropriate feathers, all designed to help Mark continue to do the good work. So Mark, here is the baton. Oh, here's your bag, you can carry it home. Thank you. Beautiful. I would have asked him to say something, but it would have been very risky. It is now my final privilege to introduce Governor and Purdue University President-elect, Mitch Daniels. This event is what it is today, the best Boy Scout fundraiser in the country because of his personal interest and dedication to this luncheon. He cares about kids and their families, and that has been obvious over the last 8 years to all of us. And he knows what Scouting does for them. We are grateful for his interest and for the standard that he has created. It is also comforting to know that he'll continue to influence our lives just up the street. Governor Daniels.
Thank you. Thank you, Harry. Thank you all for being here. Indiana is home, a governor quickly learns to an astonishing number of annual events. And you get invited to damn near all of them. This reminds me to pass on some advice to my good friend Mike Pence. There are tricks people play. They'll say, governors always come. That isn't true. They'll name the events, the governor's breakfast, the governor's prize, the governor's award, you know, something you never heard of before you discover you're now the patron of. All these are wonderful occasions, but life's only got so many days and hours in it. And consequently, there are less than a handful that I have made it my business to go to every year. I name them. I can only name three. The memorial service on Memorial Day weekend that we have in conjunction with the 500 Festival. An ethics and government and integrity summit that we have that I started to emphasize how essential the highest standards of conduct are throughout government. And this luncheon. Nobody has to play any tricks to get me here. Because, as I've said to the point of redundancy over the years, I don't know a better cause. I don't know a more important endeavor in which people can come together than what is embodied in scouting and in this event. A hazard of going to something every year is you run the risk of duplication and boring people to death. I got out the chicken scratches this morning from the last several years, remind myself what I said. In 05, I talked a little bit about how de Tocqueville never saw Boy Scouts, but if he had, he'd have recognized it immediately as one of those priceless voluntary associations at which he was struck by how American a trait that is. In 06, I thanked you on behalf of our Department of Corrections. I just spent some time with them trying to figure out, it is very, very hard, almost impossible, to find a former Boy Scout as a guest of one of our correctional facilities. In 07, when we met, just as we meet now at a time right after an unspeakable, abominable tragedy, we met right after a local atrocity involving, thank gosh, just a single child then. I remember saying to you then, who knows, but if only that guy had been a Boy Scout. In 08, I talked about how government, for all the work we put in, all the dollars we spend, all the energy it consumes, is always going to be the last line of defense of the vulnerable and the weak and the young. And unless and until we are a society filled with people who are prepared and know instinctively what the right thing to do is, the efforts of government will always be inadequate. Over these years, I've cited books and articles, and there's another one every week, it seems, about the very special problems afflicting young men in our society today. Books with titles like The War Against Boys, The End of Men, one that described Boy Scouts specifically as a parallel universe in which character and morality and patriotism were the natural order of things, so unlike, unfortunately, much of the rest of our world today. And so I've just been saying the same thing to this audience now for 8 years, because the organizers, not me, the organizers, Morris and Golden and Gonzo and the others who have worked so hard on this, have been setting a record every year. I at least have the consolation of knowing that some of you are here for the first time. And you should know, what you might not, there is not another event like it in America. There is not another organization that has achieved what the Central Indiana Council has done. You know, one way or another, I've been saying the very same thing for 8 years. Of all the good causes and all the absolutely necessary communitarian things we do, and we do, I think, so well in this particular state, there is not one organization I can name that matches the needs of our community or our nation better than the Boy Scouts. If the Boy Scouts of America did not exist, we would have to invent it. I don't think I need to go over the numbers again. The incredible difficulties experienced by young men, in particular, young men, growing up today so often without a father in the home, so often without a single positive role model, male role model in their life. They might be lucky enough to trip across a coach or a teacher. There might be a extended family relative somewhere, but for millions, there is no one. So how could they know? How could they know what responsibility is, what character is, what the basics of right or wrong are? Who would ever, where else would they ever have run across any single line of the Scout Code, the Scout Creed? And we know the results. They don't change except to become worse. Twice the likelihood of becoming child abusers, twice the likelihood of drug abuse, more than twice the likelihood of going to jail, close to twice the likelihood of committing suicide. Now, into a few of those young lives, too few, comes the Boy Scouts of America. You should know, if those who don't, that scouting nationally has lost membership. Thank goodness, still close to 3 million young men are being served, but there are places where it struggles, but not here. There is one council, last I checked, in the nation, which has been growing. In fact, has grown by over 1,000 scouts a year now for several years in a row. It is the one you have come here today to support. Can we thank the remarkable people who have led it over that last several year period? Now, as the organizers so effectively show us every year, statistics are a distant second to stories in trying to illustrate a point like this. I encourage you to try what I like to try once in a while. Just randomly, when the thought occurs to you, go to your search engine and put in Boy Scouts. I promise you a recent story, something like Ian's, will tumble out from somewhere. So I did. Last week, some young man named Brian Boatwright, he's from Orlando. He and a troop are hiking 11,000 feet in New Mexico, and the scoutmaster has a heart attack. There's no cell phone coverage at 11,000 feet in New Mexico. As I read the account, the scouts led by this young man operated as a team. Some rigged a shelter and a tarp. Some began administering CPR. And 3 or 4 of them ran 4 miles back to a base camp from which a helicopter was summoned in the fellow's life was saved. The only thing astonishing about that story is how common it is in the world of scouting here and around the country. So I just thank you so much for being here. I thank you for the privilege I've had to come and testify each year to the incredible value of what is being done, thanks to you and thanks to the people whose dollars and encouragement you provide. And I couldn't think of a better way to finish than with one more story and one more recognition. It goes to a person familiar to most folks in the room who has given his life, by and large, his working years, to young people, and to scouting in particular. Over the last 20 years, he has been on the job every day as steward to this organization and to the dollars that it is given to work with. He has led the Central Indiana Council to a 50% increase in the number of scouts, and especially important, to a doubling, more than a doubling, of the scouts from low-income families and from families in the inner city of Indianapolis. And so, in taking note of his accomplishments over that time as he leaves his post, I mean to recognize not just one person, however outstanding he is, but the whole organization he has led, and by extension each of you, for helping this community, more than any other I am aware of, to attack the single most heart-rending and long-term single most dangerous symptom of social difficulty and decline in our entire country. So with thanks to him, but also to each of you, Scott Claybaugh, would you allow me to give you Indiana's highest honor, the Sagamore of the Wabash? Did the speaker keep? Yeah, did the speaker keep? I said, don't let him know. Thank you. I usually don't even do these in person.
Thank you very much, Governor Daniels. Excuse me. As president of the Crossroads America Council, I represent 36,000 scouts and 9,000 volunteers who greatly appreciate your passion for scouting and your efforts to ensure that all young people who desire to participate are able to do so regardless of their financial resources. And we are so pleased that the Governor Mitch Daniels Camp Scholarship Fund, started 2 years ago, now has over $184,000 in it and will perpetually help scouts who need financial assistance to attend summer camp. Thank you very much. Governor Daniels, as a token of our appreciation for your support of scouting over the last 8 years, Harry and I would like to present you with this small but very large gift. Governor, thank you very much. Harry, don't go away. Now, we are pleased to tell everyone here that at next spring's Scouting Awards dinner, Governor Daniels will be awarded the Thomas Moses Good Scout Award. Other individuals who will be honored that evening are Dr. Michael Evans with the Distinguished Eagle Scout Award, Tamika Catchings with the Whitney M. Young Junior Service Award, and our Eagle Scout of the Year, who will be selected next month, will also be honored at that dinner. We are also grateful for the leadership that Harry Gonzo has provided these past few years in chairing this luncheon. His active hands-on leadership has positively impacted thousands of youth through scouting. Harry, please accept this token of our appreciation for your efforts with the Governor's Luncheon. Thank you, Harry. Good afternoon again, everyone. I'm Tom Easterday, and I've had the honor of serving as the president of the Crossroads America Council for the past 2 years. We've heard some extremely powerful stories of scouting today, and some excellent reasons for supporting scouting in our council. Now, before I explain how you can show that support, let me add my personal thanks to Dean White and Bruce White of White Lodging for our lunch. By that I mean, by hosting, Dean and Bruce are ensuring that every penny you donate or pledge to scouting today will go directly towards serving young people. Again, Dean and Bruce, thank you very much. Standing throughout the ballroom are youth representing all ranks and programs of scouting. Please join me in thanking all of these scouts for participating in our luncheon today. And now I ask you to do your part in keeping our council moving forward in serving the needs of youth in Central Indiana by supporting scouting through a financial pledge or gift to our council's 2013 Friends of Scouting annual campaign. Friends of Scouting provides nearly a quarter of our council's operating budget, with a significant portion serving our low-income and special needs programs. We are very pleased that since 2005, these programs have grown from approximately 8,000 members to over 14,000 members. Your contributions are above and beyond the allocations our council receives from the United Way. We are very grateful for their support and proud of our longtime partnership with the United Way. It is our hope that everyone here today makes a financial pledge to support scouting. With your generous help, we should be well on our way to raising our $1.95 million 2013 Friends of Scouting goal. Now, before the pledge cards are distributed, let me take a moment to explain the pledge card process. Many of you, I know, are familiar with this from past years. Since the inception of this luncheon 17 years ago, we have asked each of our guests to consider a personal gift commensurate with their ability to give. Each of you will receive a personalized pledge card from your table host with a suggested gift amount indicated on it. It is our hope that you will consider pledging at least that amount to our campaign, payable this year or any time next year. If a personalized pledge card has not been prepared for you, please use the pledge card on the back of our Friends of Scouting brochure that are available also at your table from your table host. We are asking that everyone consider a minimum pledge of $350. Now, this is the level necessary to support 2 scouts per year at the $160 level, plus provide $30 to help grow our camp scholarship fund. Many of you also work for companies that provide matching gifts, so please indicate that on your pledge card also. I know that several guests contribute at a much higher level, and for that we are truly grateful. In fact, the average individual gift at last year's luncheon was nearly $600. As I did last year, this year, as you think about your gift, Governor Daniels' comments, and my request, I ask that you consider the phrase, "Give until it feels good." Every size gift is important, and won't it feel really good to help 36,000 scouts and 9,000 volunteer scout leaders? You should feel particularly good by knowing that your gift will make a positive impact on the lives of young people who may not otherwise have had the opportunity to participate in the fun, adventure, and learning experience that is scouting. This year we have some special incentives to encourage you to aim higher in your giving. A very generous individual has agreed to match gifts in 2 special categories. First, all new donors who contribute at the $350 level or higher will be matched. Plus, this donor also pledged to match the increase of any historical donor who increases their gift or pledge by at least 15%. So please do the math on that one. We hope you will help us maximize the value of this matching gift challenge. Our other special incentive is a unique Mitch Daniels Governor's Luncheon for Scouting commemorative coin for all donors of $500 or more. Now, the coins are already at your table. If you qualify, please take one as a memento of this special occasion. If by chance you run out of these special coins at your table, please stop by the registration table right outside the ballroom to obtain your commemorative coin. Your table hosts can discuss the specifics of completing your pledge card and the ways you can pay your pledge either today or in payments over the course of the next year. Please make sure to sign, date, and verify your mailing address and return your pledge cards to your table host. For those that are using a MasterCard or Visa, please be sure to sign, date, and include your 3-digit CVC code on the back of your card. We will tally the results this afternoon and place those results on our website, and we will share them via email and social media outlets. Now, Gary Dick, who has done really just an outstanding job, again, assisting us today. And by the way, let's have a round of applause for Gary. Fantastic job again. Gary will be returning to the podium in just a moment for our closing, so please remain seated. At this time, table hosts, please distribute the pledge cards, and after your guests fill them out, collect them and give them to a scout or explorer as they come around to your table. And please remain seated for our brief closing after this process has been completed. So, let's complete the pledge cards starting right now. Thank you all very much.
Makes a difference. You saw the videos earlier in the program. Those are just some of the examples of where your generosity goes, and it truly does go into the future of our community. So thank you, one and all. You were part today of the largest governor's luncheon ever, and we expect a record high number. Yeah, how about a round of applause? Well, thank you again, Tom Easterday, Governor Daniels, Governor-elect Pence, Scouts, and everyone here today for being here and for your leadership in community. What an incredible day for Scouting, and sincere thanks to each of you for your support today. In closing, I would like for you to think about why we're here, and to not forget about why we're here today, to reflect on the mission of the Boy Scouts of America. The mission of the Boy Scouts of America is to prepare young people to make ethical and moral choices over their lifetimes by instilling in them the values of the Scout oath and law. In Scouting, we camp, hike, canoe, backpack, earn merit badges, advance in rank, and build campfires. Scouts do a lot, but these things are not what we do. These things are how we do what we do. Because what we do is to serve and to lead by fulfilling the mission of Scouting. You came here today as a supporter, and I ask you to leave here today as an advocate for Scouting and a true believer in its mission. When I did read the mission of Scouting, it really does touch me, and I know many of you as well. I hope, in fact, that Scouting's mission will carry on, and it is built upon a very simple but powerful code of conduct, the Scout Oath and Law. It speaks of honor, duty to God, country, self, and others. Scouting's mission is empowering. It has staying power. And when we fulfill Scouting's mission, our future becomes brighter indeed. When you leave today, please tell your associates and friends you had a good time, but more importantly, tell them about our noble mission. Again, you came here as supporters, and I urge you to leave as advocates. Thank you again for your generosity. You are part of the great Scouting event once again today, the largest in the country. Again, thank you for being here, and go out and make it a great day. Thank you.